Hello and welcome to my studio. It is so nice to have your company tonight. So it is Saturday night, which means it's time for another Dawn and Julia Create. These are our favourite for both Dawn and I. We love setting each other challenges. We love seeing what each other comes up with and sort of guessing along the way what each other's going to do. So Dawn set the challenge this time and we're creating a journal page. I'm good, I'm happy with that. I love journaling. And we have a limited colour palette, so we're to only use 3 colours. We can use any mediums, but just within the 3 colours. And we are allowed 1 stamp set. So without further ado, let's get started. So today I am creating a page in my Pink Pig art journal and I'm using the stamp set Wings of Change. As you can see, we already have some pink stuff on there. I think that was a bit of a mop-up of pink crackle gel. So it's got as a starting point anyway. I'm just stamping out these light bulb images and these are going to be the main focal element of my page. So I'm just going to pull out some yellow distress ink and it gets started creating a yellow glow. Now I'm just pointing out a mistake here. I forgot to let my VersaFine Clear dry, so I ended up with grey smudge. Not pretty, not nice. So I ended up just blasting with that with a heat gun and then look so much brighter now. So the reason I'm putting that down is I want a nice yellow hue. Now I am going for my colour tone is going to be a yellow, pink and teal. Now, as I was editing this, I noticed here that I've actually picked up some orange pencils. I honestly, genuinely didn't even think about this at this moment in time. And I'll explain why. When I am colouring yellow, I always bring in an orange or brown to create the shadow areas. This is something that I do a lot with lots of different colours. So for example, for red, I need to pull in black. Same with teal, I need to pull in black as well. If it's an orange, I pull in brown. You need something that's going to give you depth for your shadow areas. So in my head, I was genuinely colouring a yellow light bulb and I pulled in the orange just purely for the shadow. It wasn't that I was trying to add another colour, I was genuinely creating a yellow light bulb. So I'm hoping that Dawn's going to let me away with that because that is genuinely how I see colour. So this is me adding my tiny touch of teal. That's my contrast, that's my cool colour in contrast to the warm colours, and I'm just colouring in the butterfly there. I'm actually using my Prisma pencils, as you would have seen. These have got a lovely wax base to them, which makes them the easiest to go over multiple medias. You're not going to get an absolute perfect blend. We are working on top of crackle gel and distress ink. Pencils need a good tooth and you need to layer them gradually to fill the tooth, but some of that will have already been taken away with the mediums. But in this instance, I'm not looking for a perfect blend because it is going to be one of many layers. For the metal elements in this, I'm wanting to go gold. Again, it's the same colour family as the yellow, which is why I have opted for that, and I've done it using my Ecoline water pen and this woodware pen as well. And that's just adding a little bit of a gold sparkle. These woodware pens have like an acrylic paint in them, so they're nice and bold. I'm pulling in my stamps again, and the idea is to try and frame these light bulbs. So I've just taken those fancy lines. I think they're meant to be clock hands. I drew them, I should know. Yes, they're meant to be clock hands. And I'm just trying to create a whimsical little frame, and I'm adding a little bit of pink stamping just to add a little bit of extra detail to the background. So what colours do we think Dawn has gone for? I think that she's most likely gone purple and blue. I'm not sure I can fully call the third colour, but I'm going to guess it's pink just for the sake of making a guess. But I reckon definitely purple and blue. Either that or snot green. I'm now just taking my ink pad there and inking up the edge of the page to try and create a little bit of a frame. So once I've done that, I'm going to get out my gold pen. I've just extended those light bulbs so they actually reach the top of the page and they're not just floating about. Now here is where I'm about to create myself a whole host of problems. I decide to add even more pink. And in doing that, I lost the contrast with the white, and I feel like I don't completely love this page, and I feel like I worked and worked and worked to get to a stage where I liked it, and that's the point where I went wrong. Hindsight is a wonderful thing, but I sort of get there in the end. Because it had gone so pink, I had to intensify the yellow, so that was the first thing I did. As you can see, I am adding some souffle and some nouveau drops. For some reason, me adding the souffle, that bit of video footage doesn't seem to be there. So sorry about that, but you can see me adding the nouveau drops and you can see the results. So that is it all looking very sparkly. And the nouveau drops have crackled. They're not a crackle gel, it is nouveau drops, but I craft in my studio at the bottom of the garden. I'm in north of Scotland. It's the winter, it's freezing cold, and I think the cold must have affected the way it dried and caused those crackles. But we have crackle gel in the background, so in all honesty, I think it works. It's a happy accident. So now this is the stage where I thought I was finishing this page. I went to add my doodly border, the sentiment was on, bish bash bosh, and we're all done, or so I thought. I just looked at it and thought, nah, wasn't feeling it at all. So I now start desperately trying to make this page so that I like it. So I start off by getting this gold Spica pen and filling in the gaps in the doodles. Then decided that we needed a lot more contrast to try and make those light bulbs stand out. So I went back to my friend, shadowing. I love shadowing, and I'm using Inktense pencils in a dark pink. The marvellous things about Inktense pencil is they work like a watercolour, but once they are dry, they are permanent. So it's really good for building up layers and building up depth of colour. That's why you just saw me waft it with a heat gun there, because I was trying to get it to dry so that I could add more layers. Then again, I think I'm at the finishing point. I think a few white splashes and I'll be done. But how wrong was I? Still wasn't happy. So now I get out my stamps and start repeat stamping this text over the page, trying to darken that frame so that we can try and make those light bulbs pop off the page so that they become the main feature rather than just looking a bit lost. In doing that, I felt the little border that I had was now too skinny, so I then coloured it all in using a black pro marker. Fairly easy to do till we got to those rings. They were a bit tricky, but we did get there and managed to fully colour it in. Then I thought it was too black. Ironic, I know, yes. So what do? I get out my white gel pen now and add another doodly border. I then finish it off with a few faux splashes and finally got there with my page. Please do pop over and see what the amazing Dawn has done. She is a fantastic art journaler, and if you do like art journals, I'm sure you'll enjoy looking at this video too.